looks like we're still in the first phase, so I just call it like growing pains.
So do you think it's possible to train someone who has no breaking experience to become a judge?
I don't think so. I think it would have to come over time. You know, I think I feel like they have to know somewhat breaking. I feel like they have to have breaking before.
I agree.
You know,
I agree with that.
I feel
100%.
like you have to know what the body has to go through to break. I feel like you have to have had battled before.
Yeah.
To know these scenarios to be able to judge them. You know.
Yeah. And another big one is that biting has been a really big conversation in this. So like, if you have no experience or you've never been a part of it, how do you?
But also there's a lot of OGs that don't even pay attention to the scene in the last 10, 15 years, even though they're in the scene. Yeah. They might not necessarily be following along, so they don't know who these people are. They don't know where these moves are coming from.
You got kind of like meet the balance. You got to be in the scene. You know, you got to be. At least.
I feel like you have to be in the scene. You have done it before, and then you also have to keep up. Like you have to follow the scene, kind of generally be a fan of it as well. You know,
keep your current event up.
And I also feel like judges shouldn't be actively battling, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like there's a little bit of a bias if you're actively battling. So there's a whole roster of people that are battling, and half of them you've battled before. So you might have beat some of them, but some of them you might have just got waxed every time, and you kind of have a chip on your shoulder, and you may not catch it, but you probably have a little bit of a bias against this person. You know,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
you might not know it though, you know, but you're like, no.
Well, I'm tell you right now, you probably shutting down a whole bunch of people's dreams right now. They're probably looking at this like, hey, I might have to stop breaking so I can start judging.
But these are things like you're an active competitor. So so now put yourself in the seat of watching a battle, and then say one of the battlers or somebody that you just don't like.
Yeah,
you're just like I don't know. You seem like a really cool person. So I feel like you're nice, but I feel like when you're watching the battle, you might just be like, "Oh, that was garbage. That was garbage." You know, the guy might have been nice, but you might be like, "Oh, that was whack. That was whack. Oh yeah, see that dude." He was trying, and then you kind of give him more credit than he really should have gotten.
No, I respect that. I agree with that though. I do agree with that. It's like but these are really complicated.
But these are things like people don't even realize because they're not actively judging or even in that realm. Like judging is a whole different mindset. So you kind of have to neutralize everything. You can, and it's not to say it can't happen. I'm just saying like, for me, that's what should take place because I feel like also like. Judging is kind of a rite of passage, so I feel like there should be some kind of hierarchy. Like, you start off, you start being competitive, you get good, you start teaching, you one day retire or just kind of slow down, and then once you slow down, then since you're not really actively trying to get that money, like prize wise or like actively competing, like
but you're
kind of then you kind of step into the realm of teaching and judging and getting in that mix.
Yeah.
What I don't really like is when, people start, they get good real quick, and then all of a sudden they're judging. Yeah. They got that bias. They don't even know really what they're looking at. Like they're just like talented.
Yeah.
And they, you'll see them like. You've seen these like newer judges and like they don't even really like they're super awesome as a breaker, but then they're like I don't even know what they're looking at sometimes. The level you're breaking is not the level you're judging. They're totally separate.
It's trendy.
Yeah, it's different things.
They become popular like off of like some of the trendy topics in breaking. Like I'd say certain moves become trendy or like certain styles.
I've seen people go viral and then all of a sudden they're judging like dude and then you have a conversation with them and they can't really break down like all the intricacies of breaking. So
they got all that influence behind them, but do you think with that type of influence, especially how the world's been moving today,
it's so fast. Right, it's fast, right? I mean, people that you can't. I don't think you can judge if you're not keeping up. Like me, if I've been gone on the scene for like 4 years and come back, I don't know what the hell's going on, man. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Romeo, I'm gonna tell you this respectfully: you're never getting out of the scene. Neither of you. Like you guys are always permanent. It's just like you got five.
Bye.